Today is a happy, sad day for us. Actually, I'm standing where it all began. Life Impact was started in this home over about 11 years ago. And this story is just an incredible story, but we are now finally moving the girls to the promised land, the teenager girls to the promised land. And that was the original intention of everything. And we finally got the land developed so that we can move the girls from this home. It's bittersweet because we have so many memories here. Actually, this place was the place when we rescued our first 8-year-old girl for $24. What happened was we looked around. I had her just in a hotel, in a safe house hotel, because we didn't know where to bring her. We couldn't leave the border with her. You have to stay within the border radius, or else I would get in trouble for child trafficking. And I sent my kids from my first home to go and look for my university kids, to go and look for a house basically like outside of the city limits that would be safe. And they found this house. And what had happened was, this is our Puyaiban's house, which means that he's like the governor of this area, or he's the district manager of this area. And at that time, Burmese children, they were illegal, and so it was really dangerous for them. They had no protection. People were exploiting the exploited. And what we had heard is that there was other homes that the actually police and different people would come and they would ask for bribe money to not shut them down. And when we started this home, we knew we had that risk that police could come and raid us and shut us down, that the children were illegal, that maybe they would come and ask for bribe money. And so when I met with the owner of this home, I said, I'm going to have illegal rescued Burmese children here. Are you going to be okay with that? And the landlord said, the Puyaiban of this area, he said, I am the Puyaiban. He said, this whole area, I have the most Burmese living in my area, anywhere from 600 to 800 in those numbers of coming in and out of my area. He said, I am the only one that has compassion on these people, because I feel sorry for them. And if you bring Burmese children, I promise you I'll protect you. And I said, well, what about the corrupt police? What about them that would come in and shut us down, or probably try to come and ask for bribe money or candy money from the kids? And he said, oh, no. He said, I am Puyaiban. He said, police live 2 doors down. He said, police live 2 doors down. He said, police no come to Puyaiban's house. If police come to Puyaiban's house, you call Puyaiban. And so basically the police were 2 doors down, and never once in 11 years did they ever try to come and shake us up, or ever try to come and get money or candy money or bribe money for us. We lived here safely. We dwelt here safely for 11 years. And the neatest thing, I feel like the greatest memory that we have of this place is right across the street actually lived the chief of police. And the chief of police, they have one of the highest prominent statures here basically. And he would hear our children would worship in this area morning and night. Every morning, every night they would worship and they would pray. That before school, after school, they would thank God for their food, they'd thank God for their safety. And the chief of police would hear them every morning and every night. Well, he got sick and was dying of cancer. And so he was sick and he was on his deathbed, and he would still hear the voices of children here. And so basically he said, call those children over. I want to know, why are they so happy? Why do they sing every morning and night? They're orphans. They have nothing. They don't have clothes. They don't have food. They live all together. Tell them to come. Why do they do this? Why do they sing? Why are they so happy and they have nothing? I'm chief of police. I have power. I have prestige. I have stature. He said, I have money. I have authority. I have everything. And I'm miserable and I'm dying in bed. Please tell them to come and tell me, why are they so happy when they have less than I have? And so our children went over there. They went around the chief of police's bed. They had a worship service over there. They sang over him and they shared with him about this Jesus that rescued him, and why they sing, because this Jesus has made them so happy and has changed their life and saved their life. They told him about stories where they didn't have food, where they were beaten, where they were abused, where they were exploited, and how Jesus himself came and brought them to safety and healed their bodies and healed their hearts and healed their mind. And now they have a new chance at life. And and now they have a new life. And so this chief of police, he started crying and he said, I want this Jesus that you tell me about. And so our kids prayed for him, and the chief of police received Jesus on that day, and he was instantly healed of his cancer. The cancer went into remission. They started having Bible studies over there, cell groups with the other police, and it was an incredible thing. The chief of police went on to live for about another year and a half, but then the cancer came back, and when it came back, it took his life. But then fast forward to about 2 years later. 2 years later, we were sitting over here right behind, and that was kind of like our cantina, our open kitchen area, and we were doing some accounting and we were doing some books. Me and the house mother and my Thai daughter, and we were all there from the first generation. So we were all there and we were all talking. At that moment, a young man shows up at our gate. He was about 24, 25 years old, and he comes in and he knocks and he said, "Can I please speak to the owner of this place?" And so I said, "Yeah, come in." This is a children's foundation. And I said, I'm the director. How can I help you? And he said, "My dad was that chief of police." And he started crying. He said, "The one that passed away." He said, "I have been in Bangkok in university, and I got saved from a campus crusade for Christ. Somebody shared about Jesus to me at my university." And what he said, what happened was I was praying for my dad, and he was so hard and so prideful that I never thought that he would receive Jesus. I never thought that he would want Jesus. He said, I would pray for him, my heart would break, but then God used your children to answer my prayers. And he came and he said, "My dad is in heaven because of your children, and I just wanted to thank you guys so very much." And every Christmas, every holiday, they would bring us a washing machine, oranges. They never stopped being thankful for what had happened in their life and how now their Father's in heaven because of our children. I think one of the most precious memories to me personally is that we were here, 60 children, 5 bedrooms, and 2 bathrooms, and an outhouse that we built ourselves. And this was the house parents' room, and this is just a concrete jungle. Like this is all concrete, no grass at all. And children were playing everywhere. And at about that time, God brought some businessmen into our life, 2 businessmen that to this very day, they've been a crucial part of Life Impact in the children's future, and who we are and where we are today. They're the ones that got us the promised land in the first place. And so when they came here, they saw we had kids driving scooters and bicycles and everything, and we couldn't even put the babies down, or the kids would run over the babies. And so we literally had to make a playpen out of the back of a truck, out of the bed of the truck, so the babies would play in the bed of the truck to not get ran over, not put anything on the ground in their mouths. And that was what we had, and that was our life, and this was how we lived. And it's 60 children in 5 bedrooms. And they came and they said, "Little girl, it's time for you to get some land. You need to dream higher. You need to think higher." And they were a crucial part of getting us the promised land and getting us moved onto the promised land, and have been a huge part of our life, the Life Impact family life, ever since, and the children's lives ever since. But I just look here, and I just remember when they came, the first day they came, and they just looked and they said, "God's got more for you." And I just think of, when God has so much more than we could even ask, think, or imagine. He has so much more than we could dream up on our own. I would have never thought, while I was here 11 years ago, just rescuing children, just doing the very thing that God told me to do, that later we would have 25 acres for girls and toddlers and babies, and another 17 acres for boys. And we'd have a girls' promised land and a boys' promised land. And that one day that this was going to just explode to 150 children. And I couldn't think that big. I couldn't see that far. But what's beautiful about it is God sends people in your life, and God puts people in your life to bring those dreams and those visions and those promises to pass. And so when I'm here, I just think of, out of 11 years, how many people God has brought to us, how many people like that God has used to just fulfill the dream that He put in our hearts for these children, fulfill their dreams, their vision, to give them a new life. And I just look at the faithfulness of God, and I just can't help just to stay here and look back and say, this is where it all began. This is where we began, but this isn't where we were left, and this isn't where it ended. And this is just the beginning. And I just want to encourage you, it is just the beginning of your dream. And God will bring whoever He needs to into your life to bring that dream dream and that promise and that vision to pass and fulfill it in your life. He will bring and use whoever, however He wants to. And so with all of my heart, I just thank You for every single person that's been a part of making all of this happen and has brought us from here to there and has been a part of our 11 years of God's faithfulness. And I just thank You with all my heart.